Right at it. Right at it. Oh,
Jordan
he's
Spieth.
done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Hello, and welcome into episode 105 of the Go Get That podcast. Sentry this week, Jordan Spieth, third place finish, but not the important part of this week. You're watching on YouTube, you will see the big block M on my forehead, the M's on my shirt, because Michigan, we're national champs, and it feels good. It feels really good. Man, I don't even know where to start. Ann Arbor was insane last night. It's Tuesday, so Monday was hectic, but I would like to thank Jay Spieth for his sacrifice, for not winning the Sentry, but coming close, giving us some hope to go into the future. And who knows, maybe another Harbaugh will claim another title here shortly.
Good thinking.
Yeah, but there's my little, I don't know, it's a
Well,
little speech to open up.
I'd like to congratulate you first, of course. We know your contributions to Michigan throughout the season as well. So hopefully you deserve a ring. Hopefully you get a ring.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes.
Um,
Good close friends with Sea Stallions.
okay. Yep. Well, we're hoping you can get a ring. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you any more time to ponder this, and we must ask, for the integrity of the show, would you trade back that national championship for a Spieth major this year?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Do I get to pick which major?
Um,
Shoot, I don't
I,
even know if it matters.
You really need
I
a
think
choice.
it's so
Like,
hard.
what's a Michigan Big Ten championship equate to Spieth wise?
Oh, that's like winning. That's like winning. Well, I don't know. It's actually no. That's like a top five because we do that all the time. No, winning the Natty. Like we haven't done that outright.
Like
We
20
haven't
what?
won a national title game ever, you know? And so to do that, to be here for that,
yeah, in your 4 years definitely makes a difference.
it's tough to pass up.
As a senior too. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, to have it all kind of come together that way is beyond special. So would I trade it for a Jay Spieth major? I'm gonna say no. I don't think I
Respect
would.
it. I respect it.
And that sucks. But I've already declared 2024 the year of Dan, so I'm pretty sure Jay Spieth's getting a major this year anyway, because
The year of Dan.
year of Dan.
Are you foreshadowing a certain guaranteeing of a go get that points triumph this year?
I
Is
well,
that in the year of Dan?
I don't know if that's in the year of Dan. That might be sacrificed for B Celtics and Jay Spieth, but we'll see. I have a good feeling about. I mean, we can get into the Century. Like that
Hell
was
yeah, man.
that
I
was
mean,
fun.
it was a good week all around. Frustrating to say the least, because as fans, we're obviously people will always come at us for saying this, but some of the things that happened to Jay Spieth in the last 6 holes was just downright terrible. Now I don't know if you can say it made a difference because he did still make birdie on 15 and he lost by 2, so even if he makes par on 16, I don't know, man. It just sucks because it really derailed the momentum. And I don't know. There's a lot of ways to look at this week. I think it's a good start.
Great start.
But at the same time, it's really frustrating that his best putting week in years comes in a week where the ball striking was pretty average.
Yeah.
His putter kept him in it, which is what we've been asking. We want those types of tournaments. But the first time we get a good putting performance, the wedges kind of disappeared on Sunday. I don't think he threw anything close from inside of 120. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it as a positive overall. But I'm not saying I'm not looking at many negatives, but I'm just there's some frustrating elements to it. This was a very winnable golf tournament for Spieth. I thought, uh, but I'm a little disappointed he's not playing this week. Um, I
I
just don't
agree.
see why you wouldn't. If you're gonna skip Tory, I don't see why you take 3 weeks off. I mean, obviously he always gets himself behind the eight ball in terms of the FedEx Cup, but even with that third place, I mean, it would have been nice to build some more next week. I mean, I know last year it didn't happen that way, but the Sony Open should be a field where you should pretty easily rack up a top 25 at very worst. Um, so I would have liked to see him play this week, but overall, positives, and positives to take away from the Sentry, and I'm sure you guys agree.
Yeah, plenty of positives. It's a tricky golf course. To really set yourself apart ball striking wise. Because I mean the fairways are just so wide and you're getting so much roll. I mean the shorter hitters are still hitting it far. But yeah, it was nice to see the putter, pop. I mean, really more than pop. It was what, first in the field putting, best putting performance since the 21 Schwab. That's really cool to see that. I mean, Spieth's playing good golf early in the year, which we've kind of not been accustomed to. I mean, he played well at the Hero, played really good this week. That's really, really good to see. Yeah, skipping the Sony is a little bit weird. It'll be interesting to really see what he adds, are we just going to get like a net one drop and not add anything? It'd be cool. Maybe we get in the schedule a little bit in this podcast too. I was looking
Mm.
ahead. Our friend Ryan was looking ahead at some
I think we
possible
could even, with
schedule
Speed not playing,
considerations.
we could probably come out with an episode in the next few weeks looking at the schedule.
Yeah, that works too. We got what, 3 weeks off here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind
Not
of
till
unfortunate, but
February does the Pebble Pebble return.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you summed it up. The ball striking is tough to uh
Yeah.
kind of analyze this week, just purely on numbers. It's okay. It's positive across the board in terms of data golf's sort
Yeah.
of model and how they run it. I thought, and if you look into Sunday he was negative on approach, negative off the tee. But if you look at the um on data golf, it's a great feature. You can see which approach shots were positive and by how much, and which were negative and by how negative. And it was really off the tee on 16, cost him 3/4 of a shot basically. And I think the approach into 15 cost him 3/5 of a shot, just because of the lie and kind of what he had to do to get it out there. So to say he got some unlucky breaks on Sunday is putting it lightly, I think. But he needed to be perfect on Sunday, right? Chasing Chris Kirk, who also played really good golf on Sunday, was always going to be tough to track down. I mean, Chris Kirk shot a 65, and
Yeah.
he was beating Spieth by 2 going into Sunday. So it's
Yeah.
encouraging to see that birdies are being made, mistakes are being limited.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's more just about like the putts going in and maintaining
Yeah.
them, which is really nice to see.
We beat around this bush every year about how this is really the worst possible tournament to gauge where someone's game's at to start the year. So I don't really know, but at the end of the day, these are still greens. And I think it's better that we're seeing such positive putting numbers than seeing necessarily a really good ball striking week here. Um, I don't think there's really any way to gauge shots gained off the tee at this golf course. You can hit a horrible shot and end up in a better position than if you hit one down the middle. You know what I mean? So it's just,
yeah.
I mean, approach is a little easier, but I go off the eye test. I was very pleased with how he drove it today. This week, he looked confident. I saw a lot more discouragement in the approaches. He looked like he was pretty happy. A lot of quick tee pickups throughout the week. Club twirls off the tee. We love to see that. So I thought it was the wedges, and I know in the preview pod I talked about how I thought that was gonna be the part of the game that came back this year, but that's what killed him this week. And it was just playing really easy, man. I mean, he shot 6 under and gained 0.49 shots to the field on either Friday or Saturday. There was a day where it was playing like 6.5 shots under par.
It,
An elite round is like 10 under. And I mean, like,
Yeah.
you can't do that if you're not making putts to begin with, which is just really annoying.
I was because I saw um someone shot, was it on who shot 10 under 11 under 62
I think
one
what
of the days, and he gained like 3.9 shots to the field.
was ridiculous. Yeah, Rose shot. Well, I mean, we can look at it. Rose shot 61 on Sunday.
He was playing a little harder on Sunday, but yeah.
And I think he probably gained only like 4 or 5 shots on Sunday. Let's look at it here. Oh no, okay. He gained 6. He gained 6.5 on Sunday.
Yeah,
But
Sunday was a little harder, but
like
yeah.
that's ridiculous. It's funny
Like,
because Jordan talked about in the preview kind of live show. We went through all of your predictions or
mine
not
Yeah,
your
we went through your
is on the
goals
mend.
that you put out on your page. And just we made a list to see who's gonna
Are my goals good?
yeah, we liked them. I think it's a good balance. But one of them that stuck out was the wedge play. And
You guys
it
have been
wasn't
harping on it. Oh.
atrocious this year or this last week, but it wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's certainly the thing that I plan on monitoring a lot the next time we see him and going forward because
yeah.
being in contention early in the season, that's done already. Talked about popping with the putter, that is done already. Or the one early checkbox in that kind
Yeah.
of so it's really just the approach numbers
I
and
feel like the most disappointing part of the wedges was that every single shot this week with a wedge was a simulator golf shot. Like it was a stock shot. There was no wind all week.
He
Like
thought
it's
there
just
was.
yeah, it just stinks that like the wedges couldn't have been any easier to approach. Like they were simple golf shots.
yeah.
There weren't many factors.
Would
I get that there's a lot of elevation changing, but I still don't think that that's an excuse. Like, if you're a professional golfer playing in no wind and you go 0 for 4 and inside of 10 feet from 120 and in, that's just not cutting it.
do you think like thinking back on the wedge shots, were they more was it more about distance control or more about direction?
It was a
Both.
mix.
There were some that were quite a ways like offline. There were some that were online that maybe half
Yeah, the
club
first 2
on.
days he was leaving a lot of wedges really short.
Yeah. And I kind of think that for somebody who, from what it seems like, has actually done a good job of putting in work on their swing this off season, I think what comes back kind of last is that feel and that distance control that you can't quite simulate in practice as
Mm,
well as you can, or practice as well as you can in tournament rounds and some uneven lies kind of at Kapalua. Like I'm not, trying to um, suggest that the wedge play was good by any means, but I think there's a
yeah.
few small things that he might point to say
Mhm.
these are why the wedges weren't great. But it's been a trend for a little while now, and I think that is concerning because if he's going to drive the ball as well as he seems to,
You got to watch
the
it well.
the swing looks fantastic. I do think it's in a different spot than it was last year, like technically speaking. Um, and so if he's gonna drive it that good, you gotta just hit some better wedge shots.
Mm.
But
But
yeah,
if he's gonna putt it like that, it doesn't, that'll even
Oh,
itself the course of the year.
yeah, you would hope the putter maybe get a little bit worse and the wedges get better. But I mean, yeah, I mean, next time, I know it's 3 weeks away, but at Pebble, a lot of wedges. So we'll get, I guess, another. He said he's going to
Yeah,
work over these next 3 weeks. You'd hope the
a lot of
wedge play
wedges,
will be
but
a little
also a
bit
lot of
better.
wind.
A lot of wind.
Yeah, Pebble will have more wind, I would assume, than this week.
Better. I
Possible.
hope because
I
I
just hope
want
it's
to.
not wet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Pebble's interesting this year because no,
Am's on the weekend. Is that what it is?
yeah, but also no Monterey.
Yeah.
That's fine with me, as long as we get Spyglass.
Monterey is a great course, but it's not really like a
It's
course that I love
easy.
to watch.
Yep. I hope we get full featured coverage on Spyglass, but it's gonna
Yeah.
be feature could be trickier this year because it's a signature event. Everyone's gonna be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I assume we'll still
Well,
get coverage as
I'm
the
happy that
18th
he,
man.
yeah, so he's going to play four straight. Um,
Is it four?
I believe so, yeah.
I think it's three. I think it's Pebble Waste Management Genesis.
And then I believe it's,
I think it's three and then 2 weeks off. Unless he's going to
maybe.
Mexico.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's three.
gotta hope
Happy
it's
that he's playing the Phoenix Open. That'll be fun.
yeah.
I was able to secure full credentials for that tournament, which is pretty sick. So,
That's sweet.
That,
maybe we can get a Jay Spieth exclusive interview somewhere in there.
Never know.
that
Or no, maybe a Greller interview.
That would be even better. I mean,
I would agree.
yeah. Oh, I forgot. They changed the Honda Classic. It's now the Cognizant Classic. That's so dumb.
blame Honda, man. Honda
Uh,
McCord. Honda McCord.
I'll blame Jay Monahan because that guy sucks. But yeah, so
Oh man.
and then the Cognizant
Uh, yeah.
API. My guess, I think well, there's no way he plays six leading into the Masters, but
Schedule
um,
talk. I love it.
it's just a tight schedule. Like,
It's different this year. I was really
well,
looking earlier.
we got kind of not screwed by it, but there's a
I
lot of
think it'll be
spots.
fine. I think if you see it correctly, I think we're going to be playing three into Augusta. Augusta will be the third week, Dan,
That's chilling.
if we're seeing this correctly, I think.
Should be the third week. It'll be, well, so the interesting, yeah, because it's either he takes off Valspar or he doesn't play Houston or San Antonio.
I think
So that's
Valspar's gone.
Please, no San Antonio.
I think he's back at Valero this year. I
I wouldn't
think.
be I wouldn't be shocked if he plays API players Valspar Houston and then just says, let's work on it for a week, Cam, and then hits up Augusta
It's
and then
possible.
play and then
Yeah,
I think if I
you
had
know
it my way, I'd rather see him at Valspar than the dump that is San Antonio.
absolutely. That course could not be worse for Masters prep.
yeah.
Copperhead was fun last year too. It's a
Absolutely.
fun golf
Well,
course.
besides, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday obviously, but
Um, yeah, I have to go in a second, so I just wanted to. I think that at the end of the day, I don't think any of us could have expected those scores that were fired out there. But I mean, if you were given 27 under at the end of the week, you would be.
more than pleased.
I mean, Jay Spieth, we've talked about this before. Spieth is not someone that typically thrives in these sort of tournaments. He doesn't go out there and make 10 birdies a day. So I think this is encouraging. Because I can't
Well,
remember the last time in the last 3, 4, 5 years, besides that one year where he competed with KH Lee at Craig Ranch, where he's competed in one of these complete shootouts.
yeah.
Um,
It it's it certainly feels, I think in part he can make birdies, but there's always the mistakes. And there was what, a double bogey and a bogey this week on the card, and that's it. Like he was clean for a majority of this tournament. And a lot of that had to do with making some decent par putts to start Sunday. But like I thought Friday and Saturday, I know he didn't shoot up the leaderboard like people had hoped, but I think he made 13 birdies in 36 holes and no dropped shots. Like it's just hard to keep progressing up the leaderboard when guys are shooting 15, 16, 17 in 2 days. So it's good that it's clean, but it'd be nice to tidy a few things up. And I think that's a good spot to go into 3 weeks off with. So
yeah.
You got Chris Kirk finding like every perfect piece of grass possible while Spieth's
Dude,
finding
that back nine was I want to break my computer.
well, that's what I'm excited for. I've started doing this little thing of keeping track of what we think Spieth's luck is.
Love it.
Over the day, a little rating scale 1 through 5. 5 very lucky, 1 not very lucky. Maybe I'll start posting it on after each round and see what the people think. But so far he hasn't been more lucky than 3 in 8 rounds, in my estimation, and he has a couple ones, which is I believe the other one was Saturday at Hero. Not that he played very well anyway, but then he plugged a couple times then as well. So we'll see. It's exciting though that Jay Spieth is like he'll be in the inside what the Comcast top 10 for the next couple weeks. Yeah, as they
the Comcast top 10. Chris Kirk leading the leaderboard right now.
Chris Kirk coming off the win at the Sentry. Jay Spieth in third for at least a week.
Chris Kirk, man.
Yeah.
Played phenomenal golf. Hats off to him.
Yeah, he was I mean, he could have shot 10, 12 under on Sunday if he just hit some putts down the stretch, but yeah.
It's every Sunday in contention. When Spieth's in contention, you just know our playing partner that's also in contention with us will scare the hole on every putt.
Yeah.
Freaking, it's ridiculous.
Ever since Kokrak upended Spieth at the 2021 Schwab, it's been some guys having career days on Sundays for sure. So
Moore last year was the worst.
Yeah.
That dude. Has he done anything since?
Probably not. Who again?
Taylor Moore?
Oh, I thought you were thinking said like Morikawa. I was like, wait a
No.
second. No, yeah, Taylor Moore is that's his pinnacle of golf right there. Granted,
I think he has more. I think he has more like criminal accusations in the last 2 years than he has wins.
Oh man, he had a nice T25 at the Sentry.
Yeah,
Congrats
to him. Congrats to the Sentry for being a 61 person field and just I don't know. At least it had a decent showing because Jay Spieth was in contention.
Congrats to those who finished -20 and couldn't cash a top 20 check.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, could you imagine if it was Xander Schauffele though instead of Spieth making a run? That might have been the most boring Sunday of all time.
Yeah.
Schauffele's boring. I'm just gonna say it. He's boring. Great player, but like the tour is lacking some.
Juice.
I mean, not that. I mean, Rahm was probably what a top 4 juice guy,
Juice.
and he's gone, so that kind of sucked. Not that I missed Rahm because Jay Spieth was balling, but regardless, I do think we've got plenty of stuff to talk about schedule wise. So hopefully we'll come out with something.
Yeah.
Or we'll plan on doing that because I think it could be interesting to look at and kind of filter through. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to hop off, but you guys can finish this one out. Hopefully, in the next few next few weeks, we'll come out with a schedule episode. So
yeah,
right.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give permissions to Jordan.
Yes.
All right. Well, take care, everyone.
Good night, Bob.
Thank you.
Wow.
I don't know what else we have to talk about. I mean, I'm here to chat a little bit. We got a little Twilight Hour on the Go Get That podcast for the viewers.
Yes, I was gonna say, unfortunately, I've also signed up to go see the Michigan football team pull back in and be welcomed by their loving fans.
That's wonderful.
But,
that tonight?
Yeah, well, not the parade, but like they return or whatever. I don't know.
It's pretty sick.
miserable out. It's 35 and raining, and I don't know why.
Yeah. It's been pouring here all day.
Once in a lifetime, I suppose. I feel like I covered most of my Spieth talk.
No, I kind of laid it all out in my Instagram post. We've been really used to some really piss poor golf being played early in the season. It's nice to, get some FedEx Cup. It's just nice to contend early. I mean, he contended at the Hero, kind of contended here. That's fun.
Yeah.
The season starts January 1st, at least now it does. It's about time that, Spieth's starting, I guess. I don't want to say understand that. I'm sure he knew it, but results are coming early. It lets you build up to a win, hopefully start earlier. And yeah, I guess we'll have a schedule release soon, and then we really hit the swing of things at Pebble. There won't be many weeks off once we get to Pebble.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun once we get to Pebble. It'll just be
Yeah.
go, preview, recap, winner, live show. But no, yeah, it's encouraging, and he's not behind the eight ball in terms of FedEx Cup points. Like he
Yep.
did play well enough to warrant the 3 weeks off, sort of. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because 350 points will get you. I know the FedEx Cup purses are a bit different this year. Because elevated events you get a lot more points. But he's in all of those, and he'll be fine with that. So he's basically punched his ticket to probably I mean, it's so early, but 350 is just such a nice start.
He's in a nice start, yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out where he had 350 last year.
It's a good question.
And so I'll do some digging on that.
It's a phenomenal question, actually.
Because I think it's probably not until ooh.
Oh Lord. It's actually a
Lenny
phenomenal question, Dan.
started playing good last year.
It took a while to get the gear into gear. I mean,
Oh, I
maybe
guess
Valspar?
probably at least by yeah, no, that's true. By March he would have had it for sure because API he rocked it.
Yeah, I mean, he sucked though. I mean, we're
I
like
might have
eight
been
weeks ahead of
at
schedule here.
early March, I think, is when he kind of eclipsed that mark. So
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. Because there's no way a T6 would have got him to 350. The T6 at Phoenix was nice, but that did not get 350. And that was all he had.
T's. Yeah.
I'd
So
assume
good,
it probably API is when he got over the 350 hump.
probably.
8 weeks ahead of schedule. That's cool.
Yes.
How do we build off of it, though, is the real question.
Yeah. No, it'd be nice to show up at Pebble and get back in the mix of things there.
In a
And
big
then
boy field as well.
yeah, big boy field, and maybe who knows, maybe triumph at Pebble. But until then,
Sweet.
playoff football.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
The Ravens.
I'll be kicking my feet up this week, but
No, exactly. That sounds fun.
it
Enjoy,
does.
enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
So until next time,
Take care.
we'll